to parliamentary seats, capturing of the parliamentary seats, Western region. We'll bring you all that, all the dynamics and analysis. No, energy media so I have to the election matters. Me am the media chairman, me the Kofi Entribusiakon Abuaji Ankara. The show is also live on Green FM 88.5. The show is also live on Facebook, Green TV Ghana. And online, so say greenfmonline.com/radio. Which means so I join in with regards to analysis and discussions on 0241 5200 0241 5200 and after so 0552 022 088. Me sembre ne betwa ho sima ye ba I introduce my guest to you, then we'll zoom into any discussion. Thank you very much.
Mpunto mapa ewa wo mpatemu edu abatwa so adandan nya na manyoko bebre na na ehwebo akase ne ahodo ewa manga nem ha hia enenti wasa wote abatwa ensamase so de beya wo be hu senti a wasa woto aba
eno ena yede beto apaso edwudwam etu ne sre ene abasa ne yede nchiremu abrel.
All the news analysis, the news review, all the reports in the 16th region of this republic.
We'll be speaking to the relevant personalities. There may be some of the relevant questions in our quest to seek the relevant answers.
Ninyina mu se bekọ yi a na chess abato ye de yanimi ena wankasa o kwa kwato aba na beto abapa ama mpunto mapa etumi aba eye omanga na mu ha
na se o pe ba bia obehunu ensem ate eliafa eye amanyosem ho ene abato ho ensem ho akasefoni wakope ye wo se wonya hotoso e wo so eno a ene Green TV
Within the Kofi Entribusiakon Abuaji Ankara Chanitiawa ne frame Kaba
Wabapa Florence Nyamiche Caesar betumi frame Florence Nightingale
Evans Nana Yaukwi
Ediana ba ya pe kon enemy din
Abutan team Nana Abna Adepa
Election Dome
to Election Dome
Eyawa batwo ahimfie.
Election Dome abatwo ahimfie.
About election matters. So my guest for today's discussion, Evans Nana Yaukwi. He is a media practitioner and also a journalist, of course. And then on a discussions what goes into a Western region when it comes to the parliamentary seat. Party band the woman do is it the NPP or the NDC? Who stands the chance of 2020 with me a good number of seats? It was our region we say we'll look at it from the 2016 perspective, so that we'll zoom it into 2020 elections come 7 December. Now, and then, like I told you earlier on, we will see, sir, it's not only the NPP and the NDC are really all the time, as we've seen in other two constituencies, two regions, of course. That is a Greater Accra region and also Central region. But here, there is one particular party on also making impact kakra otimia capture seats nebia. We'll bring it to you whilst we do the discussions. We have about 26 seats and other constituencies Western region. Dynamics. But let me tell you, Election Dome is also bringing to you live the Abattoir Roadshow, which is starting this very Friday. The first one, Esha said this very Friday, hit it all the way Ashaman. So we are doing the Ashama constituency. Then from there, we'll update you as and when, and then where we'll be going weekly. Every week, but this very Friday, there, Election Dome, of course, Abattoir Roadshow, hit it all the way Ashaman, International for Montamuchuku. We are bringing to you everything with regards to elections, no, yeah, ba, any more MPs, any penny for your party executives, about the same Konya, and now your church Ghana Hong Kong going into a 2020 elections. What do you expect your parliamentarians to do, or probably the messages you're expecting from them? You know, you better say me kakra when you me so na you discuss it. I don't know kakra na you know, you baso ababehwe the seats a Western region. To me, say me my guest akoba. Evans, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Kofi.
Na pomo.
Adom ahwe.
Na weekend here ko saying.
Oh, koye as usual. It's ya unya cheso. Yes. Yeah, ni afemu de ni aka eja amanyame.
That's very true. For me, now we can need and I very but all the same, like you said, it's ain't the enjoy just and you know. But yeah, share central region. You won't say hono omono udia grow do from their voting party no in terms of parliamentary seats no. Yeah, but Western region the strong hold for and a strong seat for NPP, it is saying strong seat for NDC, it is saying, and I'm realizing that there is one particular party here, one make a significant impact because all this while, no, almost all the regions now are on NDC, MPP. But over here, I'm seeing that there is one particular party here, also making impact. I think 1 or 2 constituencies. I'm sure we need to let our viewers get to know about it. So, which means for NDC quickly.
Yes,
but before that, come Friday, the Abattoir Roadshow is hitting on the streets, and we are going all the way at Shaiman. Your expectations for this very first edition, and some of the subsequent ones not what was.
Kofi, this is going to be the maiden one. We expect, in fact, the idea is we'll have to get in touch with the fan base. One from her or two abano. In fact, the ban about they are the most important, the electorates.
Sure.
So we want to bring the candidates very closer to them, understand their line of thinking. Now for the very, very important. You know, we expect that to be done. Hopefully Friday, crew will be there. You know, it's going to be an interesting one.
And the one funny and then one good aspect, they say, it's going to be in such a way that we involve everybody there. Everybody who happens to be within a shaman, our person make it or part of this program no is welcome. Your tunes are for BBA. So party executives, the messages are there. You can ask them the relevant questions, and they will provide you the relevant answers. Of course, you need to be able to make that sad decision now. 7 December, no, we will make it for the very place. Say a shaman.
In Prempi, you know, the focus has always been on the national issues.
Yes.
But we forget to say decentralization is very, very important when it comes to our body politics.
Sure.
And you know, here say you be decentralized one war with the various constituencies, you know. They'll be voting for their MPs. Then as an electorate and as a constituent, ubejinaso ediato abama or candidate. You should know them. So we'll bring them to your doorsteps and Senator announced earlier, no, you would have a fair idea of what they bring on board, and in the interior, you think, say, one of them or whoever deserves to represent your interest in our parliament. Ultimately, members of parliament are there to represent the interest of more constituency.
Sure.
You know, one casa you think say obetumi represent your interest. You know, that is the rationale behind this whole exercise.
That notwithstanding, also we have the likes of the MCE, the police commander or the Shama, the transport union leaders, the queen mothers of the various markets. Ashama, you know, and it's not going to be say be a MPs, but all these people.
We are looking at stakeholders. Any one working be a Kofuti various constituencies, you know. Kofu Abobo, when you make Abobo, people would they will never escape here. Telescope, you know. Obviously, we will zoom them into the whole discussion. Senegal would have a better understanding of the various issues when it comes to Ashaman constituency or any others now.
And on this same very show, you know, so we be various social media pages, no. Na nyame aduma this week, no, me ni Kofi Eje eba betenase na he being the head of the IT side, no boy, no, you share the dynamics in that very vote no, it was based on what will influence you to vote. Come December 7th. Message, what you expect from a presidential section, the parliamentary sections also know. And also so now so that it will keep the people on focus as to say, is it security which is going to influence you to vote? Is it job creation? Is it going to be the economy? Or whatever you think you need to talk about, Yanko and discussions. Western region happens to be a very dynamic. I was thinking Central was, but Western also has its own where and also a play where I'm not really seeing even the repetition of a Central region. But what is in Western region? Between the frame Western dynamics, for any discussion purposes.
Now, before then, there are 26. And I announced earlier. There are 26. Constituencies so far a Western region. Osha 16 of them out of the 26, were the governing MPP, almost 16 seats, and NDC were 10 of them.
As in the last elections.
Yes, we are using the current situation we have now. Into Osha at least 2016 to date, Abano, it has been between NDC and the MPP. In fact, I know from 2012. But if you say interestingly, another party, CPP, in fact, not just the CPP, PNC, at a point in time, we need one of the seats in the Western region.
Sure.
Obvious reasons, obviously. Because, don't forget, the very first president of the Republic, Dr. Nkrumah, of the Western region.
Sure.
In Crawford. And within Sa area nim ho nyina obemu se CPP omo ya ade pa maybe you do constituencies now, maybe we should start with some of them. So for instance, 1996 constituency the fear constituency CPP ewini 1996 anya no nko 96 wona Elembele and also omo wini evaluate ejomro jira and also sa CPP ewini sa year na. It is not just say Ayade Omayeno once. In fact, Elembele cried the Omu consistently for three consecutive times. We need a year Elembele constituency 1996 and American 2000 and then 2004. So just what it means is that constituency, a year constituency, a year swing, but swing we MPP in Kahun.
Okay.
So this particular constituency, in fact, it's the very first time can constituency be a swinger. You are taking out a year MPP.
Not even once.
Not even once in MPP after our constituency. What it means is that okay, well, since 1992, I'm a CPP all the way to 2004. So it means either they are voting for CPP or they are voting for the NDC. Looking at it, situating it in the current situation, like I say, what it means is that they may be predominantly NDC.
But if you're looking at the year, I'm sure CPP did lose here, NDC G3 or Monsemino. The last vote, CPP won by 52.57.
Exactly.
That is Elembele, and you can realize 52.7. Now the following election year, NDC won with 47.4. What does that mean?
Sure. In fact, that is the highest year 2012 in terms of percentage party be winning year 2012. That is when NDC 58.3%. So clearly you could see say CPP figures, they always garner somewhere around the 52%. We 96 if you more, we 52 plus so far. So what it means clearly, this is a constituency, no go area for the MPP. We need that. So it is either they are voting for one of their own free a year the CPP stock. Announcers said they are voting for the NDC. And I make sure there's a very rich history behind CPP in the NDC, and especially within the traditional communities of Western region. Baby Anna and Nkrumah Edi Agro Edifano. So clearly this is one case. Now
let's look at Ajumoro. That is evaluate Ajumoro Jira.
Okay.
Constituency.
And also
that very seat. Yes. Look at the dynamics there.
And this is interesting. In fact, where they are pie amongst the three parties, CPP, NDC and then MPP. NDC afa twice.
CPP twice.
Yes, 2000 NDC FI and almost so fire 2012. CPP FI 1996, SM Fan in 2000, and MPP so FI in 2008, and currently Omona so ekura sa seat. So what it means is that a hono ope swing pa this particular constituency. Just say twice they have voted for the CPP, twice for the MPP, twice for the NDC.
I was looking at it from the way CPP won it in 1996 and then lost it to NDC in 2000. Won it again in 2004, lost it to
what it
MPP.
means is that every single
then
MPP,
then MPP also lost it.
Yes.
To
what it means
NDC.
is that every single Abatobia, Ebekobia, no, they change because 1996 it was CPP. You know, we change call NDC.
Sure.
What it means is that constituency will be in how I call second term.
No, not at
it
all.
It means every single Abatobia, Ebekobia, and they change the constituency and they change their member of parliament. So it is very, very interesting. And now that it will be out 2-2-2-2-2. No, I'm wondering if they are going to retain or more current party.
Mami share ya for say baby ya ka ho asem no and the screen so no that is a Jumaro and after so we're looking at Elembele evaluate yes of course evaluate and I share now you can see the dynamics there CPP afa we no my NDC and then this CPP Samba GBM no Sande my MPP and MPP Jemuma NDC the NDC also lost it to NPP so the dynamics there is very fantastic. This is only regional. CPP are making a big impact.
Big impact.
One appear in about 1, 2, 3, 4 constituencies when you sit. Well, we need seats. If not any crown at once, what tasty or much tasty seats neither. So it tells you there. Can one conclude on the fact that is it because Nkrumah is coming from that part of the region in Tina? Hono CPP happens to make a bigger impact.
Yes, that is it. That is the only understanding one, and I say only meaning one can give to this interesting phenomenon. The point really is that Obier say the first president, a honor free, and Sebi Obier no because ordinance have been so they tend to reward their own, and not just Obier, but Oshe a year in Zema area honor. Okay, the Nzima area honor sem na making. Predominantly, they would want to engage CPP and I say would want to hand over seats, to Omoanga so there. So what it means is that if you present a very credible candidate to be on the ticket of the CPP. Usually, yes, they would also tend to look at
because one
that
fantastic
direction.
thing is the Jumoro. NDC 96, 2000 NDC, 2004 NDC. Then CPP pulled a surprise.
Yes, Jomoro. So that was when Osha that time CPP. Now that was when Samia first. Samia is the daughter of Nkrumah, and Jomoro constituency.
The percentage that Odiwini Honum seats has been the highest ever.
Yes, highest ever. And it clearly shows the Nkrumah factor played a role in the Nkrumah Ba. She decided to contest
for the very first time.
And that's what I'm saying. It is Obesanko. But
it's likely. So, when Sabit to me, Asan can be the way I will see pulling more votes in terms of percentage than all the other parties.
It depends. Currently, that seat in the MPP in the Krasa seat.
Sure, even
and you look at the percentage,
it's very low.
And Shada and even though it is not the least amongst so far near Jomoro, near least grade 32.7. That is 1996 NDC time. Yeah, so what it means is that Kofi Cheki minus CPP there, so far parties no winning cry 50 plus.
Yeah, that's
so what it means is that CPP any other parties be a war honor always vote in.
Sure.
Clearly you could see they've been pulling some of the votes to almost stock, thereby reducing that of parties winning ultimately, and especially the MPP and then the NDC. So clearly we can reach that conclusion. In that period, Samia Aban, obviously, Nkrumah Ba, and all the things about Nkrumah, the euphoria alone could whip up some votes. She won by 50%, which was the very first time I know be winning by that margin.
I think it to me actually from one constituency to the other, now one seat to the other, starting with a Hunter West.
Okay.
How many of the seats now come MPP? You say now come NDC, which very year those things happen. At which point maybe a party be a winner throughout, like we say, the strong seats for ABI NDC and NPP. TV has bit me a shall if you're a Hunter Wester.
Kofi, yeah, analysis now. Yepe seats are Obibeka say, oh, we dear Obi strongholder. NDC will be 5. Mel Bosso and Nuchi, Mel Boss, but in the MPP were 2. What it means is that your constituencies be 7. I know the party back on every throughout. Niakani na de we we need be any and on I share Hunter West just any kind. A Hunter West from all indication maybe I can say clearly no MPP.
Sure.
Even though NDC a winning once. But I'm saying say you could give it to the MPP because of the margin I am winning, you know. 2000 they won by 60 plus, 2004 60 plus,
sure.
2008 when even they lost the elections in Pokrano it was 53 plus.
Yeah.
It was 2012 and NDC a winning year for the very first time. And look at the difference. And I said the figure no, it was 45.7. So it means then said that and usually me can say constituencies are party back could be winning a woman back I say why magic be no winning no. Usually we say na or more and can you more strong no more maybe a primary city and pay we coca skirt and blouse and now when they say they young got to cry you back to makufo nana but young got to young two way near say ballot and I say can I say vote no those things happen. It's clearly you could see say
2016 their comeback win
was huge and in fact that was the biggest in terms of a percentage 68.1 2016 and MPP at the J seat in the back clearly it was
for Hunter West and a screen so now figures no and the way our dynamics in the free home no until Hunter West said the Musifa talking about from 1996 down to 2016 it's only once that was in 2012 and NDC it me a him makunyano our motna so no procurement ndi mrena and check CBA overseer MPP for Sambejo Madi in 2016 with 68.1% into Amenfi Central. So right from Hunter West, we are going to Amenfi Central. Amenfi Central, what is really happening there? I think PNC has made an impact, but I don't know. 2.1%. I'm still not really getting it. If only the figure I have here is correct. Does that really mean that very year, MPP named this for man stand there and now say?
Usually it could be. Says there were a point in time. NDC and MPP, usually they go into an agreement. Say, oh, okay, PNC, per se, PNC candidate. There has been several times. Most of these parties, they almost a compromise candidate.
Okay.
Now, so probably one of those are PNC. To me, winning. So PNC winning. Amenfi seat, Amenfi Central. But Kofi, we need you share the Amenfi constituencies in Central, East, and West. Clearly, you could see say NDC has Amenfi side, no?
Sure.
As maybe omotanya dodwopa efri because o share Amenfi Central say we PNC we near 2000 throughout NDC and Hafa.
Yes.
Samson now share Amenfi Easter and also 4 times and MPP Afa.
But I think I don't know. I think a production they prompted. I think that very year, there could be a mistake from the data we had initially. Okay. It was the NDC who still won. That was in 2000.
2000.
Yes, because President won the candidate almost standing there. Abu John Frank. The name I have here, Abu John Frank. Padmo Kofi Atta for on the NPP. Abu John Frank. That was NDC, and then the PNC candidate was Ose Kofi, who had 2.1. But the NDC won that very seat that very year, with 54.3%. That was 13,319. So I'm not. So that one can be seen as a stronghold.
So clearly stronghold.
Yes.
The NDC.
Sure.
Yeah, so what it means is that throughout NDC we need fairness saying all the elections in that is if the clarification now something to go by. Then Osha Amenfi East, for instance, Amenfi East 6 times I had to about our constituency. MPP we need 4 times. NDC we need twice. What it means is that one of those are falling under your definition of a year swing. You see, one should win at least more than once. Yes. Clearly you could see say Amenfi East and so a swing kakra, even though predominantly a MPP and a far sa Amenfi. But we Amenfi West throughout So clearly Amenfi West NDC there. Throughout na Omawini sa Abababesi.
So one can say that Amenfi itself,
yes,
before the breakdown
itself,
came, the NDC
has
good,
some strong grasp on Sa constituency now.
Okay.
It will be very difficult for anybody to take the Amenfi votes, but the Extension American, the Amenfi East there. The MPP has some control.
Yes, because winning 4 times.
Winning 4 out of the 6 times I had to about there. Clearly, it is some very interesting constituency. I bet to me any actual. Now, listen, I mean, few words they say I can't answer maybe.
Sure.
So maybe we look at the next one. I'll win. See,
I'll win.
I'll win. 2004, one of the new constituencies, Nibi. 2004, and I'll win. Yet, 2004. MPP NFI by 56%.
Okay.
Now, if you walk on your hands, NDC and AFA 2008, 2012, 2016, what it means is that NDC AFA no 3 consecutive times.
Yeah.
Right after MPP fired, the very first time it is our constituency, NDC and AFA near Canadian. So what it means is that 3-1.
Yes.
So 3-1 and yet we're too close to call because sometimes for you to conclude, you need
consistency.
Check and I'll be to me and draw our conclusion. But 3-1 there sometimes it is not
it's okay. It has been consistent.
Yes, but you can conclude
from 2008,
NDC,
2012,
yes,
2016.
NDC, yes, NDC is likely to retain
that very seat.
That very seat. We the Bia East and so them say Miami Microphone. Bia East and West.
Yes.
And Sefie Leo Krumune.
MPP from Kudia Group.
Because yes, Bia constituency is needed. Predominantly NDC. And obviously we know what that means. NDC, Osha Bia Easter 2012 all the way to 2016. Omuwini Bia West. From 1996,
down to 2016.
They have been picking SAR seats. It is clear.
And
There's
the
no
the margin too is always huge.
they be answer so. In fact, they've never gone below 50. They be 50 plus. So until clearly you could see say the BIA constituencies in NDC, predominantly NDC. Now
BBNI and
yes, and also very, very interesting. NDC I found it twice. And Niaka Nina MPP, that is 4 times now MPP Alpha. What it means is that looking at the percentage, MPP has some control over BBNI and Yasu Bekwai. So for me, if they are to retain that seat, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Not just say if
it looks like so far seats are actually and NDC is performing very, very well with regards to baby Yashua Babi Juno.
Yes,
to even body.
Yes, body say Samson Ahi. Samson Ahi ne constituency obviously unim say Samson Ahi. Very, 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 very tough kind of say politician within the Seshi enclave. Obia a ban of politics was Seshi. So for me, I'm not even surprised. 2 times a new constituency, 2 times we're winning. So clearly you could see one of those. Now we'll come about NDC, whether Western region, the catch earlier says strongholds normally at the NDC, MPP will 2 pet.
Yes.
And no crown Sa constituencies now, war coastal area, the second D and the Takrade area, into the coastal part of the Western region. Clearly, you could see they tilt towards the MPP, and those are in the hinterland
or the forest.
There's a forest bit, or Mona and Predodona, amongst also Kodima, the NDC.
Wow. Because now we're about to move into Ababia, a Honomono, the presidential bit, a comma, MPP, and I'm not surprised. It used to be a fair question team, but now a fear and then question team. A fear dynamics there, the seat. So far from 92 down to 2016. Let me say for this discussion's sake, from 1996, CPP in a fire. And then from there it has been
MPP. Clearly this is an MPP stronghold.
Because only the presidential query reflected.
Yes. Clearly an MPP stronghold. I don't think the NDC would even dream of picking that seat. Maybe in rules, but say on picking that seat, that's going to be
because from what you said, no, the coastal portion of
the western region.
Because I'm seeing that yes. in the baby drew so far, no, because okay, Esikado Ketana, you could realize. You know, MPP, and we in 2012. Their first voting was in 2012. No, sorry, 2008. 2008. So 2008, 2012, 2016, 2004. It has been for them
throughout. And yeah, no can share Kwesimintim also. Share Kwesimintim. Kwesimintim ah. On say MPP in
Sure.
Yeah. So clearly, Western region, you know. One award the coastal section, you know, they tilt towards the MPP more as against one award the hinterland, and I say one award the forest part, you know.
Sure.
You know, you say Yanam
Elembele, CPP making
yes, a Honda
continuous appearance.
Yes, a Honda, and Hono, it's either NDC or CPP. And you know, apart from NDC, CPP, there almost a dance MPPs are so. We know na Yakan Esikado Ketan so and some no see predominantly
we also look at Jomoro
clearly MPP seat evaluate Jomoro and also Yahwe now Yahwe Jomoro Maka Yakan ho asem sisi a Jomoro
Dwaboso
yes Dwaboso na
clear indication
clearly yes we say Dwaboso ne menko for bi wo hopa ntino say Dwaboso dey predominantly NDC seat clearly there is no way CPP even CPP normally are there mun say clearly is an NDC seat to be any
Kwesimintim was speaking about that already
because
it was out of initially not a fear Kwesimintim and then in 2012 Kwesimintim free a fear
and then you look at Impoho so sa and also sa clearly MPP seat normally are there very interesting one Pristia Huni Valley and also Shemwa Apai.
Yes.
So it means it is going to be one of those interesting constituencies. Apaya, not just NDC, AFA3, MPP, so AFA3. Currently, MPP in the Krasa seat, Pristia Huni Valley. So it is going to be interesting. Now, Shregab between 2016 and then 2012 and 2016, 55 and then 51.9. So, and Shada, and said that Gaba and Washisa. So what it means is that this is a clear case of a swing constituency. Currently incumbent MPP.
Sure.
It means one or one
but it looks like say Hono so what ban wa Bema likely say sitting near the Bema. Yes, because in 2000 and 2004 the MPP was in power, and of course that seat went for MPP. 2008 to 2012, NDC was in power, and NDC won that very seat 2 times. Then MPP comes back. The same way 1996, it was NDC.
What it means is that Kofi, they change every 8 years.
Sure.
So clearly that is what it means.
As far as your government is going,
well, say no, you to abana say who so be ko. And you know,
but from
the reverse rather, because see you to abana. But
maybe the people themselves can let you know say no.
Yes. So and I'm say the better conclusion would be say after every 8 years we are no they bring in a new person. Okay. After every 8 years they bring in party for they believe in the 8 year we are tradition. So my being 8 years after 8 years they are then can I say Pristia Huni Valley
also has its own one can say
yes,
it was for NDC but
yes Sefi was Dr. Afi former Minister of Health under Kufuor's regime the current MP Edema in fact when he loses this seat I wouldn't be surprised because Mekai Gan and Komo Jumediene so there were a lot of people demonstrations normally are there against him a year Sefi also a lot of them in fact primary time some of them primaries some of them were saying say they should allow one candidate to be I think say he in terms of the MPP politics grassroots for thought to say he was the man for them in Tinanka even Kramuma yanko to abananka yehu ntabato na maso Sefi also kai pinchen bi kra no ade by but that seat a traditional seat for the NDC.
The NDC.
Yes. this time round, and Watuma Dr. Free here, he's a very prominent figure in the very
So
prominent.
one can say his personality played a role.
Yes, his personality played a major role in that. But now that his own people, the MPP, and Krofoni be some of the delegates, normally are there, were making noise, yeah, they did demonstration, normally are there, if you don't say Obeshebo market, Hobby market, the videos, normally are there by Oman. So these people were demonstrating in the rains. Then you talk and they were demonstrating. Wow. Clearly, you could see the grounds and Dr. Free. So
going into
yes, and especially as it is also an NDC seat. Just historically, NDC this time around 2016, what it means is that for me, if he loses that seat, if that seat goes to the NDC, I wouldn't be surprised at
second D.
Yeah, second D, no go area MPP.
We don't need to even talk much about that.
I know,
because we've drawn conclusion.
In fact, I see 2 constituencies in the Western region, and I know it's a no go area for the NDC.
Sure.
Second D is one of them. Takrade is the other. Takrade, they don't go there. In fact, even Takran it is one time in a CPP, I think so. Nyakenya has been MPP, so they don't in the NDC. You don't want there. We can
equally add a fair Kwesimintim.
Yes, a fair Kwesimintim normally are there. Said those constituencies a no go area for
answer never call ASFE a contemporary no main kai ya hwefo se sapena wo do fidi na to anu ma election matters a idea about ho komo everything concerning Ghana elections from way back as share democracy as till now. Year going to 2020 about women. Ye pension same. Ye share the presidential swing regions. No, they were about to see Fako. They see no ye sanso share parliamentary seat. It was swing regions. No, today we are dealing with the third swing region, which is Western region. Nanyame Adma, the best sanso actually bron a half region. Then we are done with both presidential and then parliamentary. Then we can move on to other issues concerning in Abato in Ghana, because we are heading towards 2020, 7 December. You and I are going to make that big decision that very day. I don't know where your vote will be going, neither do you know where mine will be going. But yeah, you better talk about bills on policies. We're also live on Green FM 88.5, also on Green TV Ghana, that's on Facebook, and also greenfmonline.com/radio. You can get onto board and answer with me on 0241520000. 0241520000 and also on 0552 Yenhwe eye Sefia Kontomra Memehwe Shama na fe yenhwe eye Suaman Takrade we've spoken about it. It's a no-go area. Takwan Suahim we've spoken about it. It's a no-go area for the NDC. In terms of which me ahwe eye Sefia Kontomra. What are the dynamics there?
Agofusha Sefia it is supposed to be a seat anchor, one NDC more comfortable. I mean, that particular constituency because it is one of those 2004. So far, NDC we need 3 times, and in fact they won it consecutively. We need to 2004, 2008, 2016.
The figures coming from there.
Yes, 2000, and they are huge. They are huge figures. In 2004, 2008, 2012. Up until 2016 and they lost.
And NDC MPP came in with
43. Yes, so it means they couldn't even clock 50% of that vote. For me, NDC has been winning 50 plus, 59%, 2004. Yes, I think so. 2004, 59%, 2004, 54.4%, 2008. 59, almost 60%, 2012, and MPP take you over with 43%. What it means is that, for me, something may have gone wrong. Say she
Sure.
It means candidates normally are there now. NDC presented, it wasn't the people's favorite. So clearly they decided to vote against such candidates. Yeah. So it is one of those. If the NDC is to regain that seat, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yes, almost regaining that seat now because clearly the history shows it has been a comfortable constituency for the NDC.
Shama.
Shama and so the Apai. What it means is that it's going to be a battlefield. 3 times NDC.
Shama is repeating that of Pristia Hunibali.
Yes.
Every 8 years.
In fact, every 8 years. Exactly. So Priscilla Hunivalia, they are in the same like as a year we are marking NDC and then winning at the very first time. No, most of some MPP. And I feel the moment MPP BM, so they give they are the more or less the second chance constituency.
Sure.
Constituencies are almost second chance normally are there. Yeah, so they've been given NDC. Currently we have 3 against 3. Just say the next election is going to be a very, very interesting one, looking at a year the Shama constituency. Shama is also just around kind of saying so they are also at least closer to seeing Kakra, but just at this time around until towards the MPP.
So they can be seen more as one of the swing constituencies.
Yes, one of the swing constituencies.
When we want to classify them.
And Patemo.
So am I?
Yeah, so am I clearly it's an NDC seat. I don't see them losing this one. Just that the previous election
2004,
yes,
2008, 2012, and 2016.
What just that
2016 elections, the figure they had,
figures, 48%, and a bit questionable, but even at 48%, they did not lose their seat.
Sure.
Clearly, you could see, say, this is a constituency, a year favorable towards the NDC, and I don't see them losing it at this stage.
Wasa East. The very last one.
Say Takrade. I can't
no 2 ways about that. It's for the MPP.
Wasa is supposed to be one of the swing constituencies. Say Medicaka. Your definition of swing. Maybe a party be alpha at least twice, and I say more than once. I don't know. Wasa East NDC alpha 4 times, and MPP alpha twice. So obviously. You could say they tilt towards the NDC more, and not just that, but margins are NDC. Edwini the last 2 elections, they are huge. 57.2% in 2012, and then 52.3% in 2016.
Sure.
So at least the last 2 elections, you could see they are winning in the 50s. That is in terms of the percentage of Munya. And 2 times NDC, MPP, so winning is our seats way. They couldn't clock 50%.
Wow.
So what it means is that yes, more favorable towards the MPP as the NDC as against the MPP.
Okay, so then you show your screens, so you can see Takwa and Suayim. That's the dynamics there. NPP winning in 2000, 2004. They won in 2008. They won again in 2012 and also in 2016. You can see it on the screens for you. And we also have a Wasa East, the very last one they deal with. In 1996, it was the NDC that won. In 2000, it was still the NDC that won, even though Kufuor came to power that very year. In 2004, and NPP as a winning seat. 2008, even though Omulusi, but they still won it. 2012, NDC took over, and also 2016, Omasanso take over. Wrapping up for today's discussion, before Ebema Kwama, we can say for your conclusion on Western region, because for me, Western region doesn't look good for any of the 2 parties. Their voting pattern for me today, it is far, far different from what we've seen in Greater Accra and Central region.
Yes, what it means is that anybody who would want to win Western region, if for nothing, should have some agreement, especially with the Nkrumah parties,
Sure.
The PNC and then the CPP, normally are there. If they are able to sway them into a more side, it is like, because clearly you could see say Nkrumah factor, and I said the Nkrumah situation, count when it comes to the Western region. So anybody or person should start looking at the CPP and then the other Nkrumah party, because they've been pulling massive numbers in terms of votes. They are huge. It is a CPP normally the votes of other regions. Now this particular region there, a lot of votes. So any party or person should also all share CPP, and so can try to then bring them into your camp. And yes, idea as share a bit to me. So this is it is one of those omujudi. Some of them would want to give you a second chance. Just in if for nothing, they are likely to give people a second chance. No, they swing, no, a door some more as compared to strongholds. Strongholds in the same and be a 7 or say 80 and because we the party be stronghold. Baby, they can give to anybody at any time, and so. That is the dynamic.
Wow, a couple of messages say to me, passing through, happens to be viewing live, and for that matter, I'm sure most of the time from the response we get, tells us that the discussion goes down well with AA and viewers. So mostly not much questions come here. I'm sure they maybe are moving in. Shall say you did more manifesto no home command. That is where the big questions will start to come in.
The big one.
Because promising you, well, we are promising you election matters. When we are done with this swing discussions and all that, we will now zoom in into the very manifesto. Dear Himpa, recruitment, fair education. We will digest the MPP's education policies and we'll digest the NDC education policy and we'll see which one are you going in for. But we thank you very much. Utumi kan homa yede election matters jumedie no etumi ede aba ewieye and me guest obe kan me ho e studio hanum Evans Nana Yakwe. He's a media practitioner, of course. Me am di jumedie ho chia me di ni Kofi Entwibo Siakon Aboaje Ankra yeda crew ni nyina se from both technical to production, the research team and everybody. And so yes, also we're also live on greenfmonline.com/radio. We're also on Facebook, that was Green TV Ghana, and also Green FM 88.5. Nyame admochina eni enhia exactly 1 o'clock near Sanfa, another edition. Tomorrow we'll be looking at Brun Ahafo region. Thank you very much for watching.